kind of get you started on things. So I'm going to do briefly. I have a little bit of time left. I have just over 10 minutes, I think so. I'm going to introduce some kicking. So if you take a look at the board, for somebody who can't see it, I'm sorry. You're going to look at basically that I think are the 3 standard types of kicks that a scrum half needs to have in their repertoire. You look at a box kick. I don't really have a name for the next one, just a drive to the corner, just kind of a rolling end over end drive to the corner, and an attacking chip kick. So essentially I think those are kind of your 3 standard ones that you're going to want to look at to really develop. Other ones that ideally you'd like to have in your repertoire are the grub kick on the run, basically grubbing it into the corner when you're on the run, and a clearance kick. You want to be able to take some pressure off your fly half, because something that I firmly believe in is if your breakdown is here and your fly half standing 10 meters back there, you're going to throw backwards to him to kick forwards to clear the ball. I don't like that idea. I'd rather kick from here and kick straight forward from where I can, right? So essentially if he kicks 15 meters, we're only gaining 5. If I only kick 10, we're still gaining more. We're gaining 10 meters, right? So I'm a firm believer in that, and I think that's why it's important for your scrum half to be able to make a clearance kick. The 2 that I'm going to focus on quickly in the amount of time we have left, I'm going to focus on a box kick because that's probably the one you'll see more often than not, and the drive to the corner because that's the one I like the best. So essentially, just to get used to kicking styles, especially for guys and girls that haven't kicked before. So if I can get Luke again, just to come and stand with me. This is just generic kicking stuff that you can use, fly half, centers, whoever. So you're going to look at keeping balance off your one leg, just standing straight together. Now I hope I don't mess this up because this would be really embarrassing, but just kicking it forward, right? So you can see I'm following through and I'm staying balanced. I'm not kind of just dropping my leg right away. I'm not sending my leg here. I'm not sending my leg there. Following straight through, head down, and almost if I was going to just take another step, it would just be a natural step. Right? So I get used to the drop straight out in front of me. I do the same thing with the left leg. Right? So I'm going to stay on my right foot, drop it, and kick it straight through. Obviously I need to work on my left leg. So that's something just to get just to get comfortable with dropping the ball, kicking the ball. Something else that I do, it's kind of similar to when I talked about just kind of rocking back and forth. A bit silly again, but just single leg swings without a partner. So you see a lot of guys when they're warming up or girls warming up, they hold each other's shoulders and they swing legs. For kickers, it's important to kind of stay balanced. So when they're doing leg swings, I like to see them just stay balanced and be able to do it on their own and not have to have somebody to lean on. Right? And the important thing that you want to see there is that this plant foot, when they drive through, you want to see them try to come up onto their toes, because that's going to be where a lot of the power is going to be generated from. It's going to be from that plant foot. So I have here, I'm just going to break it down for you real quick. So essentially, might be a bit elementary for some of you, but in terms of a box kick, you're aiming downfield. I don't know if I have it up there, aiming downfield, probably about, I don't know, high school kids maybe can run a little bit faster, but 20, 25 meters maybe, something in that range. You're trying to pin it in a box up against the sideline as close as you can. So kind of from 5 meters in, I would aim for it to about 15 meters out. You want to avoid kicking to the center of the field. It's the best opportunity for the defense to counterattack, give them a lot of options. You want to get at least a couple seconds of hang time underneath it, give your wing to kind of get some time up. If he catches it in the air, great. That's all the better. You get possession back. If he doesn't, he's just going to smash the person that catches it. Just gets ball and tackle at the same time. Or ball and man, sorry. So you're going to create kind of a semicircle because it is very difficult to kick with people in your face right here. It's not like you have this cushion like fly halves do that's kind of back here. So your first step, and like I talked about, where I'm in this position now, I can pretty much do anything. I can run, I can pass, I can kick from this position as well, because my first step is naturally now away from the defensive line. It's nice and open. So I'm a right-footed kicker, so I got my left. If I'm out here, I'm going to be throwing my left hand, but if I'm going to kick, I'm coming through, picking the ball up nice and low. My next step now, I'm going to try to get a little bit more upfield. That's a personal thing. Some guys try to get even further back and kind of kick over their head. But if your first step is far enough away, you kind of have a little bit of wiggle room to be able to step a little bit sideways, if that makes sense. So it's kind of coming from here, staying low the whole time. Now I'm going to start thinking about transitioning it to one hand, coming around with my next leg here. Now this is important. This has got to be stable. This has got to be strong, like we talked about with the leg swings, right? Because now you're going to be swinging this leg, and you don't want to see this when they kick. You don't want to see them coming back. You don't want to see them doing this, right? You want to see them just staying with their kick, coming through, and following right onto it. Now your kick will follow the trajectory of your hips. The reason why I said soccer players make good scrum halves, soccer players understand that basically unless you're David Beckham, your kick follows your hips.